Hi, this is Igor Ridjinovich from hdhead.com. Sometimes it is really quick to use third-party plugins to create different looks and effects, but other times we don't have those plugins, and it's good to know that a lot of different looks done through very expensive plugins can be created in DS using DS native tools. Fog and smoke may be just one of those effects that's possible to generate in Avid DS using native tools. So what I'm going to do is I will select an area on the timeline, go to generate, black. So we have a black clip on the timeline. Then I'm going to select the clip and take it into a composite container. We'll right mouse click anywhere within the tree, go to add effect, DS presets source generators. We are going to load fractal noise. I'm going to connect the output of fractal noise into the output node. We have something that looks like a out of focus microscope with microorganisms in there. But if I double click on fractal noise and start adjusting these parameters, we can start getting something that resembles fog or smoke. There is no right or wrong way to set up these parameters. It really comes down to what you're trying to create and what kind of look works for that. One important parameter is base animation velocity, which determines the speed at which the fractal effect changes. We'll need a fairly low number for the for smoke or fog, so let's try 0.1. Octave scaling ratio will make it appear closer to us or further away, and octaves will make it more marbleized or less. On the colors tab, density will cut holes or make it very dense, sort of unrealistic looking. Go back to the main settings tab, make something like this. The transform tab controls the scaling and translation. So to make this fog appear as if rolling from right to left, I'm going to make a couple of keyframes. We'll go to the beginning of this short clip, set a keyframe with the value 0 for X translation, go to the end and set a keyframe of -30, for example, and accept that keyframe. Right mouse click on the key and choose linear motion, so there's no speed up or slow down. If I push play, it's moving ever so slowly, and actually it's unrendered, so it's not really moving that fast, but if I jog through, you can kind of see what's going on. One of the essential things for creating fog or smoke is that the real steam or fog are three-dimensional, and there are many layers of motion in there. So one fractal noise generator is not going to cut it. What we need to do is copy, Control C, Control V, paste, and I will paste one more instance of fractal noise generator. Then I'm going to put a composite operator. You notice that the look of this has changed significantly since I passed it through composite operator. The reason for that is that we need to change the mode to pre-multiplied, because this is a pre-multiplied image, but the composite operator doesn't really know that. And we'll send another one of these fogs up here. Click A, hit A on the keyboard. That creates another layer, another input for the composite, and connect the third fractal noise generator. So far, all three of these are exactly the same, so if I play this back, you really can't tell the difference. But we'll adjust each one of these to make the fog effect more voluminous. So let's say we're happy with the first fog. I'm going to select the second generator, click V on the keyboard, which will allow us to view the output of this fractal noise bypassing all these other nodes. So this controls only the second fractal noise, and we'll make this look different. How about that? And on the colors tab, I will cut down the density so we have these larger clumps. The fog generator, fractal noise generator puts the exact same image in the RGB channels as in the alpha channel. As you can see, there's no difference. So go back to the composite, click V for view, and I'm going to temporarily mute the third layer so we can see only the interaction of the first and the second layers. If I mute the bottom layer, here's our second layer. We have to go and click on the layer, turn it to pre-multiplied. Let's see what that looks like now. Good, so now we can start combining these two. So now you can see it's getting more complex. And to increase this layer feel, we'll adjust the animation curves for the second fractal noise operator. And I'm going to make the second operator move a little slower. This is the second keyframe, so I'm going to move that up to finish at about -20. Go back out to CR tree. And now the two layers are moving at different speeds. And we'll repeat the action for the third fractal noise generator. Make it look even larger looking. Go to colors, change the density to 0.03, click on composite, hit V on the keyboard to see what the interaction of these three layers look like. We'll select pre-multiplied, enable this, enable the third one, and now we have already a fairly complex looking smoke in 3 layers. And I'm going to select this third generator, adjust the animation curves, and for good measure I'm going to make this one move roughly twice as fast as our original layer. One thing you can't see in this tutorial is that the quality of this composite is greatly influenced by the precision of the rendering in the composite operator. This is an 8-bit project. Precision is in auto, so it means that it's processed in 8 bits. But if I increase this to 16 bits, and hopefully you can maybe see that if I zoom in, there are banding errors. There's banding around these fine gradations. But if I increase this to 16-bit or 32-bit float, that stuff is nearly gone. So when you're ready to do the final render, increase the processing. For example, if you're in an 8-bit project, 8-bit sequence, increase the sequence to 16 at least. Or if you're in a 10-bit sequence, then increase it to 16 bits of 32-bit float. That will give you better looking composite. Let's render this and see what it looks like in real time. And there's our little fog effect. There's a fog smoke that I made earlier today, slightly different parameters. And in this one, there's an interesting thing you can do by using warp operators in Avid DS. They're currently disabled. If I enable them and play this back, watch this area here, and you will see this volumetric reaction of the fog as if an invisible object is flying through it. Right there. And that is created by using warp operators on similar warp operators on 2 different layers of fog, slightly staggered in time, so they don't happen both at the same time. They just twist and curl this fog around a little bit to create that kind of look. Yeah, you know, obviously this is never going to be 3-dimensional, but you can do your best to create this sort of warping around objects in your composite, so it looks like the fog is interacting with physical volumes. And I'll show you quickly how warp works, although that's not really a subject of this tutorial. I'm just going to select our clip and go to Video Effects, select Warp, and we'll try a simple one. Create a circle. Here's our circuit object. We'll go copy and join. What happened is another instance of this circle has been created, and if I enlarge it slightly, now we have 2, and these 2 are connected together. Warp preset comes with this pre-built animation curve in it, which in most cases you don't want, so I'm going to right mouse click on this and go remove animation, and that's the amount of the warp. So let's put about 50%, and if I move the outer circle, you can see what's going on. The area that was originally contained within this inner circle is now stretched out to the outer one and manipulated. So anything you do to this, for example, rotate, all that stuff will twist the fog around. If you're too lazy to build this effect by using all these fractal noise generators, I also have it on my website, so if you go to hdhead.com you can find it there, I think under the name of Fog Smoke preset.